Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wednesday's edition of Red Pill Tamales. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's your boy Chingo Bling. We got Juan Perez in the building.
What's up? What's up?
Comedian Juan Perez.
Is that on a budget episode?
Why is that?
What's free episode, dog?
What's bootleg about it? Some bootleg?
No bootleg.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
He said it's
That's
on
that
the
free version.
Oh,
dog.
he calling y'all bootleg, saying you can't afford to get the exclusive Patreon version where we really go in for
When you say it like that, it sounds like I'm attacking the audience.
a little bit. Yeah, this the bootleg version.
That's the bootleg version. This the free one.
But hey,
y'all get half the stuff. You know, you get you don't get our full attitude.
Y'all gotta forgive Juan. He is a comedian. He has dark humor. Speaking of comedy, shout out to everybody. Came out to the 5 shows in Denver. Javi Luna and myself killed the stage. Looking forward to coming back next year. The feedback was great. Looking forward to cooking up some new merch and new jokes and just a new overall experience. Definitely want to do it bigger. And before we move on to all the stories today, like for example, I don't know if y'all heard about this gentleman, Ray Epps. He was over there at the Capitol. He was telling people, we need to go inside the building. Like, we're going to talk about that because they gave him a little slap on the wrist. Also, Senator John Fetterman, he's a dude from Pennsylvania. He's always wearing hoodies. And they changed all the rules to let him keep wearing his hoodie. So we'll see how y'all feel about it. Also, breaking news, man. Cargo operations shut down in El Paso at the International Bridge. And what does that mean for you? Why did they shut it down? What the hell's going on in El Paso? We're going to talk about it. But Denver, bro, they got a fire Cuban restaurant. I mentioned it on Cafecito Time. Marisol, she gave me a look. It's called Cuba.
Cuba.
Yeah, so like Cuba. And, bro, they got it going on with the food. Okay, I don't even want to say what I had to eat because I had to keep going back. I had to eat every day, Marisol, if you're listening. Dude, the first day I got this sandwich called pan con bistec. It's basically like a piece of steak in a sandwich, and it's so off the chain. It was like ridiculous. I seriously, I was like, man, compliments to Julio, whatever chef y'all got back there. I thought I was in Miami, bro. Like that sandwich was off the chain. I think the next day I had a different kind of like steak, like it comes with like rice and stuff like that. But it was called steak palomilla, and it was off the chain. But the best one of all, Marisol was probably like, "Damn, you was eating out." Yeah, I had to. I can't cook in the hotel.
Cuban meat,
dude. The last day, I had a dish called vaca frita. Lord have mercy. Like a ton of onions, a ton of grilled onions, garlic, like this sauce. Dang. Bro, it was like ridiculous. Like the steak was just like sitting in that onion juice and that garlic. Oh my God. And then of course they got some fire Cuban coffee. So every morning it's like there was a Starbucks right across the street. And it's like, man, you got the Cuban coffee right next door. Like that hotel, I told Marisol, like, please put us at that hotel because it's like right across from everything. Right across from the Target, which I thought I was boycotting them, but I still had to go get a couple things. I had to give in.
You gave in.
I gave in.
You gave in to Target.
And speaking of giving in, man, you know, Denver, they got some nice souvenirs out there. You know, people just bringing you stuff. Like Javi went to the dispensary 3 times. People hooking us up with things, pre-rolls and things, CBD. And couldn't bring it on a plane, bro. So I was just trying to like see, you know, I'm just like, damn, bro, I'm just gonna leave it. I like threw stuff away. It was sad. Yeah. It was like, hello darkness, my old friend.
It was all free stuff too, huh?
Yeah, I didn't pay for any of that. Dang. I didn't pay for it. Even my boy Scribe, he hooked me up with some stuff.
Oh, Scribe was there?
That didn't go to waste. Yeah, he was there Friday. He was at the Late Show Friday where there was a disruption. There was like a table being real disruptive, and it's good practice for me because it's like, hey, dude, don't reinforce that behavior. Like, don't acknowledge them, you know. But sometimes you kind of go off the cuff, and it's like, I get it. It's your birthday, you know. Chill. I'm gonna shout you out, like, and then you gave them that attention, and then it just next thing you know, they're putting out $100 bills. Next thing you know, they want you to go give the lady a lap dance. Next thing you know, you just out trying to earn a little extra money. But anyway, it was fun overall. So my point was like, Scribe went to a show where it was like kind of got derailed a little bit, you know. So sorry, Scribe. It's always like the members of the Thea that it's like I went, but the one I went to, there was a lady yelling stuff out.
What did she yell at?
No, they were just overall. I'm just saying,
I
like,
see what you mean.
For example, yeah.
I started thinking about, never mind.
So you went to San Antonio?
Yeah, I went to San Antonio to see my son. I had to see my son and get him pants for school because mom was asking if I can get some pants for school, but they had to be very specific. So I was like, "Look."
Was it a hunt? Were you having to go a lot of places, or?
We went to a couple, but the messed up thing was, even when I went, I got all the specifics she asked for. Mm-hmm. When I left, I got a text message. Hey, these pants are the wrong pants. And I was like...
What was wrong about them, bro? Even if you did all that...
She sent me all the guidelines and stuff from the school. I was like, this would have been helpful before I got the pants.
Gave you the guidelines after the fact.
Yeah, just to be like, hey, you got it on the wrong shit. I was like, you could have started with the list. I mean, okay, it's cool though. It's cool.
Está cabrón, bro. Está cabrón. That's why Denver was relaxing. I'll just put it to you like that. Nah, but I miss my family. So yeah, it's good to be home. Next stop, Vegas Fight Weekend for Big Cinnamon Fight Weekend, and then after that we end the tour in San Antonio. So y'all be ready, man. We got the Red Pill Blend coffee on deck, so we will be energized. All right, so you want to get into this madness?
Also, one other thing, we'll be dropping like a whole bunch of new sketches and stuff. So make sure to share all those things, guys. Let everybody know. If you think they're funny, send them out, man. Like, tell your friends, tag them and stuff. Just let them see what you think is funny.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because like for example, we had a family get together yesterday as soon as I landed, and one of my cousins was like, "Hey man, so you don't do like no more videos and stuff dressed as Chingo no more?" Like, I forget sometimes. Like, to me, it's like I'm Chingo. You know what I mean? It's like I'm Chingo all the time. I mean, not like performing, like sometimes I'm just Dad or Pete or whatever, but it's like it's kind of a reminder, like, oh wait, to the common eye, it's like if you don't see, it's almost like, where's the grill, where's Cleto, where's the tamale, you know what I mean, where's this, where's the hat, and it's like, do you want me to wear that like all the time? Well, that, like, it's almost like, why you don't drop videos no more? It's like, bro, we create so much content, really? And it's like, oh, it's because you don't see like a pair of boots. You think it just doesn't count?
Yeah, it's different things. You're different things to different people. Some people see you as Mamado. Some people see you as Juve.
El Rey de Foreplay.
See you Neighborhood as comedian, Sancho. The podcaster, a bunch of stuff.
So I feel like we've barely scratched the surface on stand-up. Because like we've been doing killer shows for like 8-9 years straight. But it's like, it's almost like a lot of people are like, dude, man, that show was great. This is my first time seeing you do stand-up. Or like, I didn't even know you did this, and like stuff like that. So
which is kind of good though, because then
like
it was in the early, those are in the early years that they didn't really get to see you. So now when they see you, it's like, bro, you're so good at this. It's because it's like
polish, more years, technique, baby. So Ray Epps, were you familiar with him?
No.
You had never heard of him? Mm-mm. Which is crazy. That means that like the super normies really don't know.
I just don't know his name. I know who he is now when we were talking about it, but I was like, oh, I just didn't know his name. Like,
well, because the mainstream media don't want to make him famous. Long story short, he's important because like half the country believes that the riot that happened on January 6th or whatever was like the worst day since 9/11, worst day since Pearl Harbor. They literally were trying to take over some stuff.
Insurrection.
Yeah, and then the other half of the country's kind of like, nah, bro, it was all kind of people. Then people got let in, misled, people getting 20 years for shaking the fence, like people getting all this time for walking around, taking selfies, and then leaving.
Basically, if you were in a certain amount of radius, you were blamed for whatever happened inside the...
Unless your name was Ray Epps, a man who was on tape, literally like telling people, we need to go in there, and
literally, I saw the video when that happened, like, and I still remember to this day where he's like, we need to go in there. And that's a Fed.
People like, in the background like, that's a Fed.
That's a Fed. Like, bro, come on, man.
So yeah, so that's like the perfect segue, because one half of the country understands, like every time they ask, the 3-letter agencies, like, hey, how many of y'all's people were mixed in the crowd? Oh, we can't answer that. Oh, why you can't just say no, you know? Mm-hmm. Or like, no, we had none. So in other words, it's crazy how the media led people to this point where one half of the country is like, bro, they literally got let in. They didn't have no weapons, really. The only ones that died were them, the protesters. You know what I mean? They were like aggravating them. Like, where's the footage? Where's the 40,000 hours of tape? Why won't they show people how they got let in and all those things and how many Antifa were mixed in? And the other half is like, you're crazy. Really, bro? You're telling me that it was just a big psyop hoax meant to make people look bad? So Ray Epps got hit with like a slap on the wrist, some kind of like little misdemeanor of some sort, which is crazy.
While other people are lost jobs.
Like 20 years for not even being there.
And so the main guy that made people do stuff.
And the main guy who he even texted his nephew like, yeah, dude, I started it. Like I set it off. Like I made it happen. Hours and hours of footage of him just walking around. We need to go in there. Like almost as if that was his job.
So basically, if you take this just at what it is, face value of like, if our agencies have been weaponized against the people, this would show something like that, because it's like you had. So let's say I'm not saying he is, allegedly he's an FBI agent or working with them, inform whatever he is. He goes in, makes everybody do stuff, tells everybody we should go in there, We go in there.
Don't say we.
The whole riot. Cause the whole riot stuff or whatever, the insurrection, and then they blame Trump, blame everybody else.
Anyone who supports him.
Anybody that was just there supporting, oh my God,
I went to hear the speech.
We gotta hear the speech. You gotta do it. And then they all get real
show our numbers.
Time.
First Amendment.
He gets the slap on the wrist. But if he is an FBI agent or informant or whatever he is, then that means that they've literally weaponized to do something to the public, the ones that were there, that were innocent, that weren't part of anything. Weaponize it to put them in prison, make them lose their jobs and different stuff, and this guy gets off scot-free.
And scare them from ever challenging or protesting something that they truly feel like there's a ton of evidence. So it's like, I think we have a good reason to be here.
So the ones freedoms that we always talked about, like, man, no, we're free here.
Yeah, First Amendment. Yeah, the right to assemble and the right to protest and the right to
we're teetering
freedom
on the line
of
of like, wait a minute, something's wrong here. So just looking at this discrepancy, you could see there's something very wrong. Something very wrong.
Yeah, we shall see. Let us know what y'all think, man. Like, do y'all think it was just like giving him the slap on the wrist was a way to be like, I know everybody's thinking this guy, it's weird that like the mainstream media and like the Democrats are like praising this guy. He's just a good old fashioned, they're like sticking up for this one dude, and they finally gave him a slap on the wrist just they could be like, all right, we know a lot of people are thinking he's like, a little setup type of guy going in there to be a provocateur. Well, it's not true, because he actually got a little ticket, a misdemeanor.
Yeah, and one of the main things is I know some people are like, but why do we care? Why should we care? Why should we?
It affects you.
This? It doesn't affect us. It doesn't affect you now. But think about it like this: those people that just wanted to go see the speech, and maybe they were there just to be like, man, I want to be a part of history, like, because I was there when this happened, or when Trump got kicked out or whatever. I was there to see whatever, and you might not have even been there for any kind of other support, but you showed up to the premises within like the 100 radius. Was it 100?
I don't know. It pretty much, bro. People that weren't even there got picked up.
Right. You could be walking on a sidewalk. Somewhere or in the park or something, and they still could have got you because you were on film there around the area. So
and then the cell phones tell your location and all.
So it's one of those things where it's like, this happened around you. You just wrong place, wrong time. You're going to prison for 2 years.
I don't even think that's like the most convincing way that it will affect people. I think the way it'll affect people, like for sure, is like, next time there's something you don't like and you want to go protest, like
masking up again.
Or no, I'm just saying it depends. It depends, like if it's allowed. Like if it's like, what are you protesting for? Okay, yes, that's fine. Even if we're in a pandemic. Wait, y'all are burning things? That's fine. That's fine. It's because it's for race. You know what I'm saying? It's against racism. And it's like these people over here just got a flag and like a beanie and like a scarf, like grandmas, bro. They were rounding up grandmas, bro, like kicking down doors.
Well, the flag is being persecuted, like as if it's like a what do you call it, like a rebel flag and shit nowadays.
The regular United States flag
is basically being like that too.
Checkmate.
It's like, bro, when people are like weaponizing the flag, the United States flag, and making it seem like it's a rebel flag, it's like,
and they're brainwashing.
Come on, man.
They're brainwashing the youth, like college kids. Like, have you seen clips of people that are like, there are a lot of American flags on this block, and I'm not sure I feel comfortable. It's like, yo, who brainwashed you to think that it's like a racist symbol of hate speech? And then hate speech is just a way of trying to get rid of free speech. It's like
they treating the rainbow flag better than the fucking American flag, dude.
Facts. He said it, not me. Speaking of rainbow flags, John Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania. If you don't know who he is, he's a dude that got the lump on his neck. He had the stroke at some point, like after he got in. And then when he was having to do like debates and speeches, he's like, oh, I got to use this machine that's going to it's AI, bro. You're using AI to feed you answers because you ain't all there. And now it's like he don't look the same. People like point out pictures. It's like, where are his tattoos? And like, where's the lump on the neck? And then they made a new rule for the Senate. Like, all right, y'all can wear whatever y'all want. Because Fetterman like really needs to wear his hoodie. Come on, son. Y'all, oh my God. They'll just let anybody be a politician these days, bro.
When they're changing rules, and it's something simple. It's like, so like if they're changing little rules like here and there for like stupid shit, like hoodies in the fucking place, or I don't know, like definitions for Fauci, or like, you know, like I don't know, some would say, you know, like certain kind of what they did to Trump, where they changed certain rules in legislation so that the president couldn't, what's the word? Not overturn. What do you
contest
call it? Contest
and challenge
certain things. Whenever they start changing rules here and there, you see the playbook is like, we're going to change the goalpost and put it over here because it fits our agenda. It's like, dude, how many times are you going to be able to do that before the American people are like, wait a minute?
Yeah, I don't. The way I look at this whole story about Fetterman and his hoodie is not so much like. I just think it's silly and ridiculous. Like, all of a sudden, like, rules were so important for all these people. Like, it's so procedural and like symbolic. Like, hear ye, nay, yay. You know what I'm saying? Like the court, whatever. Like, made the House, speaker. It's all like formalities, right? And you got to dress a certain way. And then all of a sudden, this weird random ass dude from Pennsylvania that somehow won, like, gets to wear his hoodie. And it's just like, how it's like you babying them, like you just treating them like a little, like how the kids go to school these days, pajamas and hoodies and stuff like that.
Treating them like Biden.
Mush for brains, pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. He kind of looks a little bit different.
He's acting a lot different.
I'm gonna have to zoom in on his ears.
He's acting a lot different.
Yeah, because bro, he had a stroke of some sort. And then he had like a mental health thing.
He's more competent.
But think about it, bro. Like, he was out of the public eye for a long time. Like, he had like a mental health thing. It might be the same guy. I don't know. Maybe he did just get his shit together. But like, he was super out of the public eye. And then he just like pulls up in this like limo thing, and he gets out, and those are the first images. And it's like, is that him, bro?
I want to know what kind of medication he's on. Like, that shit might be better than C4 for me.
The shit they giving
Brandon.
Brandon.
Give me some of that. I'll wake up.
Speaking of like interesting people in politics, at the Denver airport, I was traveling out on a Monday, which apparently is the worst day to fly out of the airport. It was literally a zoo, bro. Like, I got there maybe like 10:30, right? My flight went until like, I don't know, noon, like 12:30. So I was like pretty early, but I was sweating bullets because I get dropped off by Uber, and I'm looking for I see like this line like just flowing through the airport all on the sidewalk, and I'm like, is this a lot? Is this for curbside check-in? Like, what is this? They're like, nah, this is TSA pre-check. And I'm like,
oh.
Y'all are all TSA pre-check? Like all y'all went through that program to like give your passport, your thumb, and all your info so you can get through quicker. They know you're not a bad guy. And I was like, how? Where's the end of the line? It's like they're like, you got to go in there and look way. I was like, I'm not even TSA pre-check. I was like, I'm with Clear. Where's the Clear? They're like, I think they're letting us both share the line, but there's like a Clear line. Bro, long story short, man, when I got into the line for the Clear, they have all the machines, and then they were understaffed. And of course, I made a comment like, damn, they look kind of understaffed. And the gentleman behind me, he's like, everywhere you go, that's how it is. and then I'm like, and we all know why too. So and the Uber driver, we had a nice convo too about woke and how it's a poison.
How he's gonna go to one of your shows next year?
But bro, you know how many people had 2 masks? Like double, like the one that goes like this, and they're like,
the face shield.
They pull it down to like show who they are, because they're like, yeah, it's me. And it's like, it's the lib MAGA hat, bro. And it just makes me wonder when I see people wear them. I'm like, did you not hear that they don't really work?
Starting up again, man.
But some of these people never took them off, bro.
Yeah, it's starting up again. Like they're cranking it because I want to say like a month ago, like actually right around the time what's his name was saying, what's that one guy's name?
AJ.
AJ was saying, yeah. When AJ brought it up, I was like, oh, that's crazy. There's no way we're gonna. And then I started going to the grocery store, and I was like, oh, I see 3. What? World? Hold up, dude. And then the next day, I saw more, and I was like, there's no way.
You're like, Pfizer stock. Dude. You're like, Pfizer stock must have went down.
I'm like, what do y'all watch? What are y'all watching? Where are y'all getting this?
Where are you getting your information?
Because everybody everybody on the internet or social media, they're not wearing because they know like a lot of it's BS. So like everybody else, it's like, okay, what do y'all watch? Because it's like older people is what I was seeing, like a little bit of older people. So I don't know if they're watching something else that's like,
I just saw
libs. Stuff is starting up again. It's starting to ramp up. It's almost like it's flu season. It's flu season. It's COVID season. And it's like, oh.
I just saw libs and like misinformed minorities.
Have you seen those clips, those little compilations that they've been having of like Bill Gates and all the World Economic Forum motherfuckers, all kind of like saying, yeah, when the next pandemic happens, when the next pandemic, when, it's like, oh, y'all.
And it used to be like, we can remember it had been ages since the last one, I think, unless they consider like swine flu
since the whole
bird
Ukraine
flu
thing happened, that's whenever it went away completely for a while.
Whenever they stopped pushing.
Whenever Putin
they're like, no, we need y'all to focus on this.
Yeah, focus on this, guys. Send them money.
New shiny object.
Hawaii, somebody else.
New shiny object just dropped. Yeah, there's so much controversy with the Hawaii stuff. Like the authorities not letting people get by, film. They can't get close. Like you can't get in.
Yeah, that's getting weird because we still got a lot of missing kids, and now they're cutting off the media from there. So now they're doing stuff there, and now we don't know. And so people that are actually live there and stuff, who knows what's happening now?
I mean, how many people were displaced, and like how many people survived that are like, or at least relatives to like you would be inheriting it or your family's property. Like they just not let nobody. Like, what about the houses that did survive? Can those people go in? Like, hey, I live there. My house, they missed my house.
Yeah, no. Well, it depends on if they sold it or not, or if they kept their land. Maybe like a certain thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like the whole part about like they're keeping people out, and it's like, well, who's allowed in? And wouldn't some people have a need to get in there?
I don't know.
This right here, it's some little bit of Texas border fiasco. Cargo operations shut down in El Paso at the International Bridge. And that the people were pulled off the line to go back up Border Patrol to help with processing. And there's like 1,000 whatever you want to call them, illegals up against the, shout out to the Border Patrol.
Wait, what was that? Oh, that's your plaque.
Oh, yeah, this
that's
right here.
Plaque.
Yeah, this
that right there.
September 2023 on behalf of the RGV sector. Thanks, Chingo Bling.
Green and what?
Green family.
Green family.
Honor first. Anyway, shout out to them, man. They're our first line of defense.
Big green machine.
They put in that work, and I know a lot of Mexicans get triggered because they think like those people, you know, like you're a bootlicker if you support them because those people are mean to minorities because a wall is racist and things like that. But what these Mexicans don't understand, because they don't really know, they don't pay attention, or they don't look into it, is it ain't even really Mexicans coming. Like, Mexicans are the ones that's like, no, tienes que pedir permiso. Like, you got to go through all the trámites. Like, there's people waiting in line. Sure, there's Mexican illegals as well, right? But right now, it's like mostly other than Mexican. It's like all these other countries y'all can't even pronounce. So my point is, when you hate on the Border Patrol or when you're super pro open border, I guess, what you're not understanding is like, you're kind of adversely hurting Mexicans. Not only like the kids that are getting trafficked and stuff like that, but like people in Mexico, all throughout Mexico are like, bro, we got all these people in our town. Like, you know, they turned the rec center that everybody was dependent on into a migrant housing thing. Like in a little bitty poor town in Mexico, they're like, bro, where are all these people coming from? And they're leaving their mess, and they're all up in the downtown and affecting the daily life. But raza over here, they don't really factor that in. They just already just think like, no, they're being mean to the nice grandmothers that are coming in. And then once you look into like the footage of who and is actually coming, you see some pretty bad hombres, man. The dudes that got like the AK-47 tattoo all on the face and throwing up some crazy signs and saying where they're going, and they're hopping off a train, and some of them got real bad criminal records. And when you see that, it's like the average person doesn't even know what's in their neighborhood, who's in their community, where they're going to end up. New York City's going through it. Chicago's going through it a lot more. Like every town is a border town.
So basically with the whole, what this all means as far as like with the cargo operation shutting down in El Paso, means that you are not going to get your shit.
All your Takis.
Your Takis, your
whatever's imported. Tequilas, maybe.
Whatever is imported. Anything that you were hoping for, your little Mexican candies, none of that's coming through. It's going to take a while to come through.
At least through that particular bridge. Yeah, so a lot of shipments might be delayed until those agents can go get back on work in the port.
Things are going to be going slow.
I mean, that affects economics, because like say you have a piñata store in San Antonio and you source some of your candies and materials and goodies and things that come through that particular port, you're delayed. Like you're out of the SpongeBob piñata. No, pues venían el de ese, and you trying to figure out why you're out of these candies. It's like, man, the truck can't make it through because you got 1,000 illegals that need to get processed, aka fake asylum claim, give a fake address, get a free ride to New York, and then they give you a court date in 10 years, and then you just don't show up.
And depending on what's being imported, prices go up on those things while they're here, because now they're more scarce. So what does that mean? Prices go up already in an inflated market. So that means, let's say, I don't know, let's just name a product. Like, let's just say...
There's probably all kinds of stuff coming through.
Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of stuff. I'm just making an example. Let's just say, I don't know,
some electronic, like
or some bullshit. Appliances, whatever. It could be like, oh, this thing was like $20, but in a week, it went up to like $40, $50, $60, because the demand is there, but we're having trouble getting it through. So,
yeah. And as gas gets higher, that affects it.
We're just kind of breaking it down in layman's terms so that you understand, like, we're not just trying to spit this to you. We're trying to let you know, like, look, this is going to affect you in the long term. So if this does not get fixed, there's going to be more issues coming along like that, where you're going to be like, why did the price go up? Is inflation that bad? Well, no, but the border shut down the cargo place because it's like we got too many people coming in.
Yeah, and that's going to have a major impact, bro. Like, it's already like billions of dollars in New York alone trying to take care of these people. You know, a lot of them ain't vaccinated at all, bro. Like, they bringing back some old stuff that we done eradicated already. So let us know in the comments, man. Have you seen anything? Like, I told my wife, we were finished dropping off the kids, and as it is, you see certain type of some homeless or some druggies. Like, you see riffraff that is just maybe citizens, right? Citizen riffraff. And you might see like the alcoholic dude that's out in front of the gas station, and somebody with the squeegee over here. You see the prostitute, wherever, right? It's Houston. And then I told my wife, I was like, once you start seeing like all these refugees from all these countries like in little groups, like, oh, man, Home Depot look extra packed, or like, that gentleman didn't really seem like he was from here, or like, did you see the little family by the Walmart begging? It's like, well, where are they from, you know? And so on and so forth. I told her, I was like, man, just get ready, because it might come to a point where it's like, you got to get out of cities.
You're not gonna see those people. Those people are in luxury hotels. Come on, bro. What are you talking about? They house them in luxury hotels.
Oh, the sanctuary.
Our homeless get to stay on the street.
They're veterans.
Like, yeah, the ones that are homeless, that are veterans, that have been here, you know, they get the street. They get the cold. They get the heat. They get all that. The migrants coming in, no, they get 5-star hotels that they took over. What you talking about? And they do the laundry.
Yeah, they
all
get
that stuff.
Fluff and fold laundry in New York. That's why a lot of them choose to go to New York versus somewhere else. But you know what's crazy about El Paso is I believe they're a sanctuary city, and the border is broken. Like, it's like you're a border town and you're a sanctuary city. Like, and I think it was like 2,200 migrants crossed through Del Rio in a day. 2,200 in a day. Del Rio doesn't even have like the biggest population. Del Rio
barely got 2,200 people in it.
Yeah, Del Rio's like
it's very tiny.
It's very small, but you got like this, like a broken dam. Están entrando 2,200 in a day, bro. Like, when people sit down and do the math, it's like the population greater than New York City has already come in. Like, I think the number's like 10 to 13 million in the past like year and a half or something like that. And it's like, yo, all these folks, their kids got to go somewhere to school. They need to work somewhere. You're going to need a place to live. You think them people can afford to pay rent in New York? Y'all know how much rent is in New York? Like, at what point do you kick them out of the hotels and say, hey, man, y'all good? Because we gave y'all 6 months, bro. Like,
I was trying to be a comedian, and I wanted to move to New York. And then I saw the prices. I was like, no.
Oh, no. I never knew you was a New York type of dream type of person.
New York or California, those were the two places you would go back in the day.
And, like, style-wise?
Look at that. It's like,
Oh, no. Like, starving artist type of stuff, man. Yeah. Like, that's... batallar, like, you, man, this shit's hard, bro. Like, it's expensive. But like style wise, you think like was that a thing where you're like, oh, I could fit into the New York comedy style?
I could have adapted it. That would have been like just the only reason I was thinking New York is because you get more time. So you had enough to where you could actually go, like those open mics. I wouldn't mind going to on some of those, because with those, it's like you can go to like, at least if you hustle, like at least like 8 mics in a day.
Golly.
You know what I mean? And really get all like more. That's why a lot of them are more advanced than some of the other ones, because the open mic scene in that area was just outrageous. Where it's like, oh, you could get time in if you knew how to. Where
did Mark Norman start?
New York.
He started in New York.
He's from New York. He's been in New York.
He's a New Yorker?
Yeah. Oh, where he's from originally? Louisiana.
And then he went up there and just that's where he started doing comedy, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And I wonder how many years he was like doing them open mics.
Probably a lot. I mean, look how much he writes. Look, dude, I've seen his wallet. This boy will put out just a bunch of cue cards that he just has his set list on, and he's just like, it's because he says like 200 jokes and like his hour or whatever. It's just like it's like so many jokes.
Wow.
I don't even know how his brain compacts it, because they're all just jokes.
So each joke is like just a minute, like just boom, next.
Yes, boom, 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 boom.
Doesn't like elaborate or doesn't like. I guess I gotta.
You gotta watch his style. His style is different, but he has like this whole topical type of like boom, boom, boom. Think Jerry Seinfeld, but darker. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it.
Interesante. Red Pill Tamales, man. We probably gonna put out some Red Pill Tamales merch. So if you're a fan of RPT, let us know, just so we can figure out like, nah, bro, you should probably make some Amado Team merch, or like, nah, bro, just make some Neighborhood Sancho stuff, like some Tío Juve stuff.
Guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, man, just tell your friends about it. Let them know. Share the link. Tell everybody about it. Like it. That kind of stuff. Just let everybody know, like, you know what I mean, like know what you like from Chingo, and just kind of share it a little bit. I think that'd be your part. As far as like, if you can't make it to a show or something, but you're like, man, I want to support, but you know things are hard right now, just like and share the video, comment on them, share whatever you gotta share.
Subscribe.
That'd be cool.
Be a part of the crew. And if you want to dig deeper and join the Discord, join the community, hit up patreon.com/Red Pill Tamales. Sign up and join the community, man. And we'll be waiting for you. Por favor, believe it. Talk to you next time on the Patreon.